Today marks 60 days into the 89th Texas Legislature that has been in session, and we are pleased to get an update about what's happening in Austin from District 14 Representative covering Brazos County, Mr. Paul Dyson. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Katie. It's great to be back.
Well, we so appreciate it. Let's begin with House Bill 2797, a companion bill to a similar bill in the Senate, which would limit cities from enforcing housing occupancy limits. City officials from College Station went to the Capitol this Thursday to testify against it. Can you tell us what you know about it and your thoughts on the bill?
Sure. So they were here testifying yesterday. It was great to see everybody. They got to come down and stop in the office for a while. As people may know, it's a long day when you're up here testifying because you're not quite sure when your bill is actually going to be heard. And I think they were last on the docket in the Land Resource Management Committee yesterday. I got to watch their testimony and got to hear a lot of people come in and testify on the bill. And I thought that there were some great questions from the committee about different ways of looking at how you can help regulate housing. And I thought that it'll be interesting to see where the committee goes with that.
The Texas Senate has passed its $336 billion budget bill, and now the House will take up as soon as next week. What priorities are you looking at for the budget for the next 2 years?
I think starting out with property tax relief, I know we're going to fully fund the property tax relief that we did from last session. So that starts out that first one. We're also looking at a new kind of property tax exemption coming out of the House, which will help small businesses and their personal business property and give them some relief there. And then another one will be on HB2 on public school funding and seeing how that comes out on the funding side to make sure that we are funding our public schools appropriately.
You have mentioned to us that right now is a really busy time for committees. So tell us a little bit more about what's been going on with your committees and what we can expect maybe in the next week.
Sure. So I'm on energy resources and judiciary and civil jurisprudence, just remind everybody. And so this last week we had hearings on energy resources on Monday. We heard about 6 or 7 bills. And then on Wednesday was JCJ, where we had about 16 bills that came up. And that was a pretty lengthy hearing. And so next week we're looking at trying to roll some more things out. We got to get them through the committee process so that we can get a vote in committee and get them out on the floor.
Now, what does that process look like once they head to the floor?
Sure. So it'll go to calendars committee first, and calendars will set certain bills appropriately to be voted on the floor. And once that calendar comes out, which I think we've already seen our first calendar for next week, and if I remember right, it's either April 1st or April 2nd, we'll be taking some of our first votes on the floor. But we will have the debate will be opened up. The bill author will lay out their bill, and then debate will begin on how to vote. And once there's either amendments offered or when they're ready to close, then we will take a vote.
Certainly a busy time. So we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to speak with us. Representative Paul Dyson, thank you again.
Of course.